All right. So with our third topic of the day, we have the GOAT talk. Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, they're both going at it. Go ahead and start off with Spence. Have any take on that? You have a take on that?
Well, as much as Randy saying I am the best wide receiver, the best wide receiver in the NFL, and then Jerry said, "Well, I got the rings. You can have the adulation." I'm like, well, to be honest, without Joe and most of the things, you really wouldn't have those rings. To be honest with you, Randy. Randy has done a lot of accomplishments as a wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings and the Patriots, and I forgot what other team he played for.
Raiders.
Thank you. For the Raiders during that time span. And of course, Jerry, you did also with the 49ers, but with the Jags and the Raiders, you really didn't. You actually were quiet. But I get it. Rings and yardage is all messed up, and I get it. Whatever. Sorry. I get it. Whatever. But you know who is I'm going to put there? I'm going to put in the greatest wide receiver talk. Listen, I get it. 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 Listen, I get it. I get it. I get it. But we can't deny the greatness of Marvin Harris. We can't. I get it though. I get it though. I get it. I get it. I get it. But out of the two, Randy Moss and Jerry Rice, I will give it to Randy. But for me personally, who should be in that also in that conversation, probably not in the top three, probably not in the top five, but in the top 10, we have to give it to Marvin Harris. We have to.
Hey, we ain't talking about top tens and all. We talk about numero uno. Is what
Fine. We'll give it to Randy. We'll give it to Randy. I'll give it to Randy. It's Randy because the way he changed the game. You don't hear people say you got Rice. No, you got Moss. That's a whole segment.
Yeah, I ain't never Rice the nigga or got Rice.
Exactly. I Moss somebody.
I ain't.
So for him to say, yeah, I'm the best. Yeah, he is the best because he changed the game of football. He changed it. He made his word is a phenomenon now.
So what do y'all classify as the greatest receiver of all time?
It's not really about rings. It's about stats. In this aspect, it really
Stats.
is about. I mean, kind
I
of.
mean, if you're saying stats, that's definitely Jerry Rice.
Kinda. But you also have to remember, at a certain time period, especially in his downward career, Jerry still wasn't doing Jerry kind of things. As soon as he left San Fran, his numbers dropped dramatically. As soon as Randy left the Vikings, Randy's numbers didn't really drop that much. He still was, especially with the Patriots.
He had his best season with the Patriots.
Yeah.
And that was, I mean, I guess you could say he was still in his prime, but he definitely wasn't.
He wasn't Viking, man.
Day with the Vikings.
Yeah.
But now for me, it's kind of like a mixture of the two. So you do have to have a certain amount of stats to be in that GOAT conversation. So if you're not in the 10,000 catch club, which there's a few who are in that club. If you're not even in the 10,000 catch club, you're excluded. That's the first criteria for me. The rings, that's an extra aspect, I guess, if you want to classify that. But for me, receiver is a dependent position. So again, like we talked about off air, you can be somebody like Calvin Johnson, and if you're not blessed to have Joe Montana, guess what? He's still in. He's still hit that 10,000 mark. Playing with, Matthew Stafford, he's no Hall of Fame quarterback. He's solid, I guess, but no, it's not the same. So there's that. There's the stats, and then it's the impact or the eye test, which to me might be the most important. You're not playing Randy Moss one-on-one for the most part. No, you're not playing Calvin Johnson or some of these guys one-on-one like that. Jerry Rice, back then, you can put your Deons on him and everything like that, and you'll be all right. it wasn't really nobody you're gonna put on Moss like that and take him out the game or slow him down. I've seen him Moss multiple defenders.
Multiple.
Calvin Johnson, I've seen him Moss multiple defenders. So it's different.
Well, I'm just gonna say here, right now, y'all are both wrong. The answer is T.O.
Did this man come on this show and say Terrell Owens?
Terrell Owens, third most receiving yards in NFL history. All right. And when I consider the greatest of all time, I also put into the fact of what all they can do. You can argue
where you
Randy
at?
Moss.
Yeah,
Huh?
where you at? Where you at first? So, so no wonder you say. So you say that in a blind face. I get it.
Yeah, you didn't want everybody to see your face when
you want to see if I see it. I get it.
No. Many can argue that
Okay.
Randy Moss, yes, he may have the big playability, and he plays when he wants to play, all that good stuff. You know, the Moss phrase that everybody uses, just like everybody uses the Odell phrase. The what else? What else is there out there? Yeah, there's probably not that many others. But
yeah, because
regardless,
hold on. That let's first off that Odell. That's this new age kid stuff.
Yeah, it's new age. Yeah,
ain't nobody old. Nah.
No.
Yep.
He ain't done enough to earn that.
To be frank, my personal favorite of all time is Calvin Johnson, but career cut short. Trey alluded to didn't play with Joe Montana type quarterback, even though nothing against Matthew Stafford. Obviously, Calvin Johnson played his first 3 years, I believe, 2 years without Calvin Johnson, and then from there on, you know, the rest is history. But we all know how the Detroit Lions organization is and all that stuff. But bearing that, what I like to consider the greatest of all time, just of any position, is what all you could do in the game. Terrell Owens, you could throw it to him short, you could throw it to him deep, you could throw it to him in the middle. He could do it all. He run block, all that stuff. Jerry Rice, I could say he could do all that stuff. It's just, his how dynamic he is. That's why a lot of people argue about the whole Randy Moss, Jerry Rice thing, because, Randy Moss, he's just that big play threat. He can, everybody knows, you send Randy Moss on the street, you throw the ball up in the air, he's going to come down with it. Like, it's just his playmaking ability in that regards makes him like just elite, and especially with the numbers that he put up with the quarterbacks that he's had throughout his career. And that's why, with me, like I would say, T.O., just because of like the numbers he did, like how athletically gifted he is with, again, being able to turn a screen into, an 80-yard touchdown, or run a simple slant route or dig route and take it to the house. It's just how much of a complete receiver overall his game is. That's why I would say I would go with T.O. over Jerry Rice, and even so much to say T.O. over Randy Moss, because they both had that big playability. But you can say the same thing about T.O. T.O., he played when he wanted to play. Yeah, of course, he wanted the ball all the time, but damn it, the man, when he got the ball in his hands, you seen what he could do. Not many people can cover T.O. one-on-one, just like, you could say about Randy Moss. So despite his off the field issues and some I wouldn't say some, a good majority of on the field issues too, that, he gets a bad rap for, I think you could argue T.O. as possibly the greatest receiver of all time in terms of the complete package.
I could give you that one.
That's my take.
Argument. What about a guy like Larry Fitzgerald? Nobody talks about.
Larry Fitzgerald, second most receiving yards in NFL history. You could definitely argue that he's what was it? He's had
he has the least amount of He has the least amount of
He has more
drops in the
tackles
NFL.
than
He has
drops.
exactly that's it. It's more than drops in his entire career, which is impressive in itself because a lot of receivers cannot say that. I'm sure Jerry Rice can't say that.
We can't deny the ability of old man Fitz. Old man Fitzgerald, man.
Well, yeah,
He's pretty much doing the Jerry Rice right now.
That's another thing though too. Like Spence was alluding to how Jerry looked towards the end of his year. You can look at somebody like Larry, like, yeah, his numbers aren't what they were, but when he does get his opportunity, he still makes.
It's still consistent though.
Yeah.
And it's like, look at the quarterbacks he's had all throughout his career. Like
Kurt
he's
Warner
done it
might have been his
with
best,
far less.
His
Kurt
Warner might have been his only good quarterback. He had Carson Palmer.
Yeah, so far.
No disrespect to Kyler Murray because he's doing his thing.
He's still new. He's still new.
Yeah, Larry Fitzgerald right now you don't see too much of him. Like he'll make his plays here and there, but outside of that, it's
he's
just talking about it later.
Somebody he left. It's no telling if he would have left and went somewhere else.
Yeah, no telling what his numbers would look like, and et cetera. Because as far as everything goes, he's always been available.
Hey, that man,
good run blocker.
That man came to Tampa and almost won a ring. My boy.
By him, yeah, he single-handedly carried that team all throughout that
year. Final seconds, got past Palomar. I'm like, oh man, we about to lose. My phone started blowing up. People
oh yeah.
I'm like, the game ain't over.
Yeah. Surely wasn't.
I ain't know if it was over or not, but it wasn't. So no, leave me alone. And then
going for the Cardinals that year.
After that, we seen the greatest drive in Super Bowl history.
I still don't think that was a catch.
That was a catch.
It wasn't a catch.
It was a catch, man. Crazy. Yeah. But okay, so Spence says Marvin Harrison. I say Randy and you say Tio. I mean, it's all subjective, I guess. There's no right answer, but the whole thing that Jerry tried to
allude to
the ring things, that's not what anybody's factoring in here. We're not looking at rings. Sorry, Jerry. You don't have to agree, you can disagree, but all takes are valid, Jerry, and the rings don't. No,
they don't always tell the whole story. So,
especially
because if the rings were really a thing, then what's his name? I keep forgetting his name every time I think about it.
Who you talking about? Basketball?
No, Element would have been fine.
That is a perfect example. Thank you. Actually, that's beautiful. Think about this. Okay. So
wow.
No question.
Wow.
Is Edelman a Hall of Famer?
Oh man. I'll say yeah.
I don't see why not.
I don't see why not his career.
You don't think so?
Have y'all looked at his numbers? Go look at his regular season numbers. This man has never finished in the top 20 in receivers. Like,
right.
I believe he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer for sure. I think he'd probably be somebody that it's going to take probably like 20, 50 something like that to where
it's going to be a while.
At some point he'll get in, but right away, like no brainer. No, he's not a Hall of Famer off the bat.
I was going to say they made T.O. wait 2 years.
He's going to wait a lot.
So yeah, nah.
Yeah, he's third on the all-time receiving. So yeah, for him to wait 3 years, make that 30 for you, Edelman.
It's gonna be a while for Edelman. I mean, he's gonna make it.
But again, based on the whole rings thing, Edelman's better than a lot of people. If we're just going off, That's just he was fortunate to be on the Patriots,
And
and they go more than anybody. So
yeah, that narrative is really, yep, that narrative definitely can be something that you have to look deeper into if you're really trying to debate on that. So,
I can imagine the conversation. Hey, Dad-in-law.
mm.
I saw what you said, and if about the rings. So that makes me better than you,
yeah, nah.
which is funny.
That's just like in basketball with Wilt
That's funny.
Chamberlain and
That's
Jordan.
funny.
Like it's just some things you can really argue, some things you really can't. But that being said, on to the final topic of the day. We have the Pickems. I'll go over the games real quick, and then after that, we'll go ahead and give our takes on who we feel is going to win. So, with the first game, we have Atlanta versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Chicago at 7-7 versus the Jacksonville Jaguars at 1-13. The Cincinnati Bengals at 3-10-1 versus the Houston Texans at 4-10. Cleveland Browns at 10-4 versus the New York Jets, Spencer's favorite team, at 1-3. The Indianapolis Colts at 10-4 versus Trayy's Pittsburgh Steelers at 11-3. The New York Giants at 5-9 versus my Baltimore at 9-5. The Carolina Panthers at 4-10 versus the Washington Football Team at 6-8. The Denver Broncos at 5-9 versus the Los Angeles Chargers at 5-9 as well. Then we have the Los Angeles Rams versus the Seattle Seahawks, which could be the NFC West title. Who can win the NFC West at that time? The Philadelphia Eagles at 4-9-1 versus the Dallas Cowboys. The 10-4 Tennessee Titans versus the 11-3 Green Bay Packers. And for Monday Night Football game, the Buffalo Bills play against the New England Patriots at 6-8, another division game. So with that being said, um, with Trey, you can go ahead and start off the Pick'em since you're quote unquote Mr. Pick'ems.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you.
We don't believe that,
Some
but
respect.
go ahead.
Finally, some respect around this place.
Here we go.
KC versus Atlanta. We're taking the upset this week. We're taking Mahomes by a lot.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Chicago versus Jacksonville. Taking the Bears. Cincy versus Houston. They better keep their hot streak going. They're so damn good, huh? I'm taking the Bengals. Cleveland versus the Jets. They should keep their hot streak going too, but I'm taking the Browns. Taking the Rats over the Giants. The football team in the
We didn't hear you on that Indy versus Pittsburgh. You just like froze.
oh, that I guess that's crazy. But no, I said the Giants versus the Ravens. I'm taking the Rats.
All right. So who'd you get for the Cleveland and Jets?
You didn't hear that either. I said the Cleveland Browns.
No,
I didn't hear that.
No, you literally froze like a good 3 minutes.
Yeah, so the Browns over the Jets.
All right. Yep.
The Ravens over the Giants. The football teams over the Panthers.
All right.
The Chargers over Denver.
Got it.
Got Seattle over the Rams.
Got it.
Philly over Dallas.
Got it.
Buffalo over New England.
Right.
Now this one, Green Bay and Tennessee.
Titans. Yeah, you gotta figure that one.
See, Green Bay is soft, so it's like I feel like Derrick Henry's gonna be able to do whatever he wants to them. But I don't know on the defensive side, can they?
Everybody's back, so
I'm taking Green Bay. I feel like
Okay.
kind of like the safer option, but
gotcha.
they're so soft. I can see Derrick Henry just manhandling them.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm taking Green Bay. Let's see. Let's see if I'm right. Now, the last game that I skipped.
Okay. We're here. Okay.
The
Yeah, we know.
Pittsburgh Steelers and the Colts. So I said that a while ago when we were long undefeated, like this is probably like 9-0 or 10-0, whatever. We were on here, and you asked would I rather us go undefeated and lose in the playoffs or lose a game? Well, I initially said that I thought this was going to be a 13-3 season. Now, granted,
Right.
I didn't expect the games that we lost to be where we lost them in the fashion that this skid has came on. But if we look at it, 13-3 is still on the table.
Right.
So, that being said, we're going to finally get our heads out of our asses and we're going to handle business this week. I'm taking
And you're going to drive
Steelers. They're going to drive
Steelers
down
out.
Pittsburgh Steelers Avenue and get smacked in the mouth.
Got it.
Noted.
Don't let me down. I came on here Tuesday and I didn't have shit to say. I don't like
Not a word.
Don't like that.
A word.
I can't defend it. There's nothing I can say. We fucking suck. So don't make me have to come in here this Tuesday again. And they're gonna ask what happened, Trey. And guess what? I'm not gonna have anything to say.
Oh no, you're gonna have something to say because if this happens, my narrative is now spinning. Oh, my narrative is spinning.
Check this out, Spence. We're still not losing to the Browns week 17, regardless.
Okay.
Regardless.
Okay.
We hear you.
I got you. I hear you. I got
the Browns?
Listen, I got you. Listen, the Bengals.
Crickets.
Anyways, go ahead, Vic.
All right, so with my Pickems, I got
that was
KC.
By the way.
Oh, this is necessary.
I got KC beating Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
Chicago beating the Jacksonville Jaguars. Houston beating Cincy.
Okay.
Cleveland beating the Jets.
Okay.
Last week was a fluke. The Colts losing to the Steelers.
Right.
We need that. Baltimore is rooting for y'all, so we get into the
only
playoffs.
doing that because he wants the
right to get in the playoffs. I know.
He doesn't want us to win for real.
I know. Continue, Vic.
I don't. Yeah. Baltimore beating the Giants in a close game. Giants. Baltimore winning by 3.
Okay.
DC beating the Carolina Panthers to winning the NFC East.
Okay.
The Denver Broncos beating the Los Angeles Chargers.
Okay.
I have the Rams
winning against
themselves. Exactly, against the Seahawks.
Right, I remember you said that.
Philadelphia beating Dallas.
Oh boy.
And I'm gonna do what Trey should have did. Tennessee versus Green Bay. I'm picking Tennessee. King Henry. All hell.
Listen. In his defense, in Trey's defense, I understand what he means.
I understand too.
On the Green Bay defense is but on the Tennessee defense is so I get it.
So that's what. So you know what it came down to? Aaron Rodgers, Jones, Derrick Henry, but Tannehill. That's what swayed me.
AJ Brown.
Yeah.
Still relies on Tannehill, dependent position.
Corey Davis.
Still relies on Tannehill. dependent position.
But
So
Derrick Henry.
we're saying Tannehill like as if he's not better than Jimmy Garoppolo, who the 49ers, they thrashed the Green Bay Packers. Run heavy, play action, pass. Pretty much similar game styles. It's just defense is the only thing that's really the deciding factor. So,
Hey, I made
I
my
like Ryan
pick.
Tannehill over Jimmy Garoppolo, but hey, yeah, you made your pick. You're stuck in stone. We ain't giving you no time to change that back. Actually, you don't got the time to change it back because it's already set in stone. But anyways, Buffalo beating New England on Monday Night Football caps off my Pickems for the week. With that being said, Spencer,
Well,
go ahead and run yours.
Well, me and Mr. Jimmy Butler right here, we're gonna in the festive mood. So, anyways,
Yeah, shout out to the Heat.
Baltimore and Giants. Baltimore and Giants. I'm picking the Ravens on this one. Falcons and Chiefs. I'm picking Mahomes because it's Mahomes. Cleveland and Jets. I'm picking the Browns on this one. No, Browns. Anyways, Chicago and Jacksonville. I'm picking Chicago. They should not lose to Jacksonville. Jacksonville is now, they have their scripted playbook, and I think they're going to stick to their playbook. They're going to stick to their script.
Hold my beer.
Wow. Bengals and Texans. I just feel like Deshaun has it. So I'm picking the Texans on this one. Washington and Carolina, I'm picking the football team. Denver in the Chargers, I'm picking Denver. I'm picking Denver. I think Melvin Gordon is gonna have a little revenge in him to do it. So I'm picking Denver for this one. Philly, picking Philly. That means the Cowboys are winning because we all pick the Philly. Because that's what usually happens with us. Was it Rams and Seahawks? I'm picking the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks is going to be okay to like, you know what? We beat you the first time. You're not beating me the second time. They did it against the Cardinals, and they're going to do it against the Rams. Titans and Green Bay. I'm picking Titans. I feel like other than Derrick Henry, I think Tannehill is going to be fine. He just got to run through the motion and be fine about this. Bills and Pats. I'm picking the Bills. It's weird in 2020 that I'm picking Bills over the Patriots. It's weird.
So that game's even better now. That game.
What?
That game will definitely put me in the lead pretty much.
What do you mean?
You both picked the Saints over the Vikings, and now y'all are
right. So we all got 1-1.
And y'all are both picking the Titans. So when that bad man in Green Bay wins, that's pretty much gonna separate us. Will separate me.
But if that bad man in Green Bay don't show up, that means I win.
But he's
but
not.
Then moving on. Oh, and of course,
the one seed is on the line, baby. He's finna come to town. He has gifts to bear.
And there's another team that needs to get in playoff contention, and they're not gonna let that happen. But before we get to that, the last one of all is the Steelers and Colts game. Now, I picked your team. Now, I would pick the Steelers, but I have a thing that's spinning correctly. So hopefully this will come true. Now, if I lose this one, it'll be fine. It's one I can dust off. But gentlemen, I'm picking the Colts on this one.
All right. I like it, but I don't want it.
Because there's two motives in this one that I have to agree to this one. One, it starts my Steelers and Browns final game little spinning thing going, which I called, which is look like it might happen if it goes correctly. Two, well, wherever he is on your screen, the other one has to make sure the Colts lose so he can get a playoffs, so he can be in the wild card position. But my team is on there too. So yeah, can't have that. Can't have that big. Can't have that.
Hey,
We gotta win.
check this out though. We gonna beat Cleveland either way. The division is staying in Pittsburgh.
Listen. It's fine. It's just it's funny if that's the narrative.
That's cool.
But what? But but Trey, what if you get upset? What if you lose? What if y'all lose? What if y'all lose?
Well, look,
Y'all saying, "Oh man, we're never gonna lose to the Browns." But what if you lose?
the thing is, it won't be.
What y'all gonna do?
It won't be an upset, will it? We'll be the quote unquote underdog.
What do you mean? What do you mean you're the underdog?
5 weeks of football, Cleveland is playing better than us.
But look at the whole. They would.
So Vegas is going to favor them, right? Everyone's going to pick against us, right?
Sure.
Pressure's going to be on the Browns, not us. What do we have to lose? Okay. We've already lost 4 straight at that point. So who's the pressure really on? Cleveland. At that point. Not us.
4 straight.
We're expected to
4
lose.
straight, but if y'all.
But here's the thing. Listen, y'all lose 4 straight. Going in playoffs.
So we would be expected to lose to Cleveland at that point.
But
so who's the pressure really on in that game? Us or them? We're already in the playoffs regardless. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It doesn't matter now, but it's going to matter then. You have to understand. You had a chance to clinch the division. You failed.
Okay.
And now you have another opportunity to do that. And if you can't beat the Colts, that means that you have a last game to clinch a division. Now, here's where I'm saying it might not be as much pressure on you guys and the Browns. And yes, you're of course. The Browns have more pressure. But the problem with we're
under pressure is the thing.
But I get it. But here's the problem that we're having right now. Trey, this scenario should never happen. You should never have this scenario.
But it did. It is what it is.
Exactly. It is what it is. So now we're at the pressure it is. And you down there, you might not even touch playoffs. So
hey, look, I just want to say one thing. If the Steelers lose this game and they lose next game, 5-game losing streak, and they're going into the playoffs and potentially losing 6 straight games. That's like one and done. And with the great start to the year, I don't know. I feel pretty good about that.
That is what I'm getting at. That's the thing I'm getting at. I know that the pressure is on the Browns to win it. Of course. I'm saying in big games, 5 games in row.
In big pressure games thus far, the Browns have choked all year.
Okay, but here's the thing. It's a new system. They may have a new thing.
Games this season, they have choked.
But what if they don't?
Well, I can't talk about what is. I'm telling you what they have done in big games this season. They have choked.
I understand. But
that's all I can go by.
My narrative is still spinning. That's all that matters.
Hey.
All right.
I don't trust Baker and under pressure.
I don't trust Ben under pressure.
Hey, he's done it many of times.
Okay.
All right. Well,
but
that being said,
nonetheless,
we're done with this.
I guess that's all we have for today. So,
any shout outs?
No, not for me. All right, well, shout out tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, shout out that one, AK.
Yeah, shout out to AK41. Shout out to the Ravens and to y'all business this weekend.
No.
And
we're not doing that.
You know, Colts lose this game on purpose, so the Ravens can get in. I ain't gonna root for the other team, but you know what it is.
I guess.
All right.
If not, Miami.
All right.
Somebody gotta lose.
So check this out. You know how this part goes, right? So you don't have to agree. You can disagree, but at the end of the day, all takes are valid.
All takes are valid.
All right, boys.
Yeah.
All right.